Hey, good morning, guys. This is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching. This is a 5-minute trade review of yesterday, so I don't want to take a lot of your time. So it's basically an executive summary. So a couple of things. Number one, how could we known it was an open drive higher? So there's a couple of clues. So the green line here, prior day's high. This is basically the 8:30 open. And so almost right out of the gate, you'll see, if you can imagine, here's the 5 minutes. This is 8:35. So right out of the gate, the first thing you'll notice, pink line is the 7:30 VWAP, 7 a.m. VWAP. So I'm putting a line on each piece, an arrow on each piece so you can see it. So pink line is VWAP, right? Green line's prior day's high, right? The first blue line is roughly 8:30, 8:31, and roughly 8:35, right? So by the end of 8:35, if I just draw a line over it, we'll just use that as my 8:35 high. And so right out of the gate, when you look at it, you're like, oh, 5 minutes in, we're above the first 5-minute high. You can see that it back tested the 5-minute high. This is an 8-tick on ES. The same principle applies to NQ. You get the yellow dot up, off it goes. What's the natural target? The purple line. So this is important. The purple line every day is either the call wall or the put wall. That is the call wall. Now, if you gave me 100 days when we hit the call wall, right? 100 days where we hit the call wall, I would say, right, 100 times, that is where, right, that is where the market will exhaust within usually 20 points, okay? So if you look, that was 78.22. In this case, that wasn't exactly right because we were so strong and we ran to 78.32 in a gamma squeeze, right? So the high, we went past the 32 all the way up, obviously, to 38.50. But you can see that it exhausted it. Once we fell back below the call wall, right? And I often say in the room, right? You have a level, you have a level. We pierce the level, right? Backside test the level, lift, fall under the key level, backside test, and then roll down, right? Now, in a negative gamma environment or in a bear market, or even in just not as strong a market, what that probably would have resulted in is a retest of the low, okay? A retest of the lows. Didn't happen yesterday. And so a couple things are important, right? Key rules. We don't, for the traders who are chasing the most consistency and the fewest stops, that's the best way to put it. Most consistency and fewest stops. You are, right? You are looking for green bars up above the pink line. That's VWAP. And you're looking for white bars down below, right? Below the pink line. This is an 8-tick on the 6-tick and the 4-tick at the short setup, and above the green bar setup long on the 4 and 6-tick. Okay, I'm not going to go into it because this is supposed to be brief and I'm 3 minutes and 56 seconds in. Okay, if you will then look at the retrace, right? This is Globex low, the orange line. I'm going to put another line on it right here. This is Globex low. If you go from the low to the high, you ended up with a 50-60 retrace, okay? Where, because we were so positive on net flows in unusual whales, it was all green. Here, I'll show you if I have it. If I don't, I won't. I don't have it readily available. I'll show it in the room, but we were all green. Calls over puts, calls over zero, price over zero. It was bullish, okay? And so you can just see it came right into that 50-60 retrace, found responsive buyers, and rotated all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way back up. And you can see overnight in the Asian station, it's been very, very tight. That's an 8-tick chart, and it's basically just staying within 1 or 2 bars. Okay, so again, above prior day's high, above the 5-minute high, above Globex high. Net volume on unusual whales was green. Calls were over puts, right? There was a ton of call buying. This was a news event right here that causes drive down. And there's one other piece, right? Every day I measure this out. So the range has been 40 to 60 points. This is the open low roughly right here, right? And if you look, that is 49 points up. We've been 40 to 60 points. It exhausted there, rotated back to the 50-60. Call buyers remain consistent, found responsive buying in the afternoon, got back above VWAP, and pushed. That's the simple story here. So if you start putting these things, and what I would like y'all to note, and I'm 1 minute past, keep noting the key levels. They're purple, yellow, and pink. Watch what the market does when it gets to those areas every day. Okay, Simon, that's your executive summary. Talk to you in a little bit, guys.